Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, the Shortwave, and welcome back to another episode of You Learn Something Every Day, which you can tell because pointed the wrong way. Episode is ruined, guys. You can go home. Anyways, as I was saying, you can tell what we're going to be talking about in the upper corner: oranges. Namely the word orange and how it came into being. And there's a long story and we have to go through 3 steps to really trace it back. So there's the word, the color, and the fruit, which are the 3 things we're talking about. Let's start with the word. Now the word orange is thought to originally have been derived from Dravidian or mainly Sanskrit, and eventually in Sanskrit the word is naranja, sort of like similar to, that's not actually how it's pronounced, that's close to how it's pronounced, but it's something like naranja or something, and obviously in Spanish the word for orange is very similar, as Spanish definitely has a lot of references. All Romantic languages have several references to Sanskrit. Now, moving on, so this sort of all comes to, the word orange was also used as an establishment in the Principality of Orange, an ancient Romano-Celtic settlement that was named after Horacio, a Celtic water god, and that was named after the god, not the color. Later, however, the color orange, the physical color orange, or I guess the visual color orange, was added to the symbol of this place called the House of Orange. The House of Orange Nassau, actually. Something like that. I'm bad at pronouncing things. And that was in the 16th century, and it also then, after that, became associated with Protestants, because the House of Orange actually fought with the Protestant side of the French religious wars and the 80-year Dutch War. So because the House of Orange had orange on its side, that's sort of one of the links to the color. But we have to go to the fruit now, actually, before we can move on to the color. So the fruit oranges, the word there was, as I said, derived from the Sanskrit phrase or Dravidian word for orange, tree, which is naranja or something. God, I feel so bad that I'm butchering everything I say, but naranja, and basically how it came from that to orange was a dropping of the initial N, so that was thought to be mainly caused, because orange is an English word actually, mainly thought to be caused by an English mispronunciation of the French phrase une orange, which is a orange, being changed to une orange. I'll show the words on the screen here so you can see them, but une orange has 2 N's, one in the une and one in the first and one in the second word, but it was changed to une orange, which had 1 in the first and 1 in the second. So basically, that came about because English people brutally massacred the phrase from French, which happens a lot. No offense, English people. However, that brings us to the color, because now we know the fruit, now we know the initial word itself, and a bit of its history. The color orange, and a lot of as many people as I say know this, a lot of people equally don't know this, so it's like a 50-50 toss-up on whether or not someone's like, oh my god, really, or not. I think more people know this than don't. It's one of those weird facts you learn. Anyways, let me get to it. The color orange is actually named after the fruit oranges. So, which is a really weird thing, because you might think, like, why are, like, seriously, you named a color after a fruit rather than the other way around? But then, thinking about it like that, there's a reason why the color yellow isn't lemon. So, that's just some food for thought, but food for thought, we're talking about fruit. I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. So, the color was named after the fruit, and that came from the old French word that we were talking about, orange, and that comes from the phrase pomme. I don't speak French, that is, so this is gonna sound bad, but like pomme de orange, or fruit of the orange in English. So before that word, actually in Old English, how we referred to the color orange, because we didn't figure, oh, there are fruits, we should use that word for our colors, we had the word saffron. I don't know why I keep saying we. Old English had the word saffron, because saffron was a big trade item from India and Asia, so there was that, and saffron is known for its distinct orange color, or it's more of a reddish orange, not exactly the bright orange that the fruits themselves have, but it was an orange. And we would also use the word krog, or it was krog or grog. So it's sort of mixed up, but it's krog usually, or geolacrog, and those were used to refer to a reddish yellow or a more like red tinted orange, so more saffron-y than a true orange. But then once we, I keep saying we, I don't know why, once the English sort of discovered that French word, which originally came from Sanskrit Dravidian, it was sort of adapted into the language, and the mispronunciation of the word, which I have done a lot of, changed it to what we now know and love, orange. So there you have it, the history of the word orange. This is a crazy one, I think, because it starts out in ancient Sanskrit and somehow works its way through French, the Principality of Orange, so like Rome and the Celts, and then it moves its way to the House of Orange and Protestantism, and then gets to France in the French religious wars. And then from there, since the House of the House of Orange had the color orange on their sort of shield of coat of arms, it then got moved from France, from, I guess, the House of Orange to France, and then from France to England, and then the English adapted this word and it became orange, and only after all of that did the color appear. All that was a reference to the fruit, but then a combination of things associated with the color also. So I think that's a pretty awesome history. That's one of the cooler you learn something every day I think I've done. A lot of etymology though. Thanks so much for dropping by and watching this somewhat convoluted tale through history about the word orange. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have a suggestion on what kind of episode you would like me to do, a topic, a story, maybe like anything. It could be anything you want to learn about. Just leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will get to you as soon as I can if you have something you really want me to do. But thanks so much for dropping by. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I already said that, but I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm saying episode a lot. In the next episode of whatever that may be. Don't forget to live long and peace out. Bye!